Hey now, today I am making pizza dough in preparation for pizzas this evening. This particular recipe, this comes from, it's the classic Forno Bravo pizza recipe utilizing Tipo 00 pizza flour, which you can Google if you want. It really just has to do with the way that the flour is sifted largely. It makes amazing pizza dough for thin crust pizzas. What I've got here, really basic recipe. I've got the flour, I've got water, 110 Fahrenheit-ish. I've got quick rise yeast and fine sea salt. To see the actual recipe here, you can check out fornobravo.com, or I've got it written down here just with different scalings. Today I'm going with the 600 gram flour scaling, just for so I can make about 4 pizzas out of this. Now, first thing to do is just add the flour. I'm just going to use my stand mixer with the dough hook. This couldn't be easier. That. I'm going to add the water right after I add the salt and the yeast. So actually, I'm going to start that mixing a little bit, just so that the salt and the yeast are a little bit better distributed. And in goes the water. So this is really easy. I just time it from here. So I'm going to go 2 minutes on this setting, and then I'm going to move it up 2 notches for 5 minutes, and then back to this setting for the final 2 minutes. This here is the dough after 2 minutes. I just stopped it so you can kind of see what it's like. And now I'm going to increase the speed for 5. So this is after the 5 minutes at the 3rd setting up, and just the last 2 are going to be on the 1st setting again. And that is our 9-minute mixing right there. So this is what our dough looks like. I'm just going to quickly flour my hands for handling it. Peel this any excess dough off the hook. So this is the dough. You can see it will stretch, not super far, but it's really soft and really nicely mixed. I'm then just going to give a very quick oiling to this bowl because I don't need it for anything else right now. So I'm just going to pop this in here, cover it up with some plastic, and let it rise. Well, I have a very eager helper here with me who is extremely anxious to get this pizza on the go. So it's been just over 2 hours. I got tied up with some stuff, but here we are. So here's the dough. It got deflated a little bit when a helper of mine was carrying it up the stairs, but it's still pretty good. So I'm just going to take it now. I'm going to flour a surface. Watch out, sweetheart. It looks beautiful. Yes, it does.
And it's soft.
Yeah, that's right.
And warm.
So you want to get it out and punch it. You want to beat it down. Hey, can Daddy have a shot at it here? Right? Okay, it's all punched down. I like to divide my dough then quickly just so I have fairly even divisions. This one though, I'm going to do one kind of regular sized pizza for what I like to do, and then I'm going to divide the rest so I can do 3 smaller pizzas and do some cool different stuff. So that'll be one there. Now I just need to get a quick weight for the whole thing. All right, so let's go to 20-ish for these. Less. Beating the crap out of that one, kiddo. All right, so this one is just over 300 grams. It was 315, which is what I like to do normally for a pizza size, and these other ones will be around 225 grams or so, so they'll be a little bit smaller. So now I take the dough, I need to form little balls, so I just kind of fold it like this in onto itself, creating a seam at the bottom, and then just kind of give it a little spin in the hand. It creates a little ball. So I'll just do that. These other 3. And then once these are formed here, they need to rise for another hour, during which time I have my pizza stone heating up. I'm just going to bake this one in the oven just because it's so cold outside. I don't want to use the charcoal in the smoker. But I've got that at 500 preheating for an hour, and I can get all my toppings ready. I'm going to make some pizza sauce and whatnot, and then we'll be ready to bake some pizzas. You excited?
Yes.
Awesome. So after your pizza dough has rested for an hour, it's ready to roll out. So I've got this here. I'm just putting it onto a lightly floured surface, and I'm going to flour the top of the dough, I'm going to flour the bottom of the dough, just because I'm going to be rolling it out on parchment paper. And the reason to roll it out on parchment paper is it'll help prevent it from burning while it's cooking on that pizza stone. Now this particular dough, it's really stretchy and whatnot, but it's not super ideal for doing the whole, like flip it over your head and catch it kind of stretching out. Rather, it works super well with a rolling pin. Okay, so I'm just going to get a touch more flour on here. I'm going to roll it out. First time I made this, I was trying to throw it up in the air and toss it and do that, and it just wasn't kind of getting anywhere. And then I wound up a couple of weeks later going into an Italian restaurant where they were using this same flour, doing the same recipe, and I saw them rolling out with a rolling pin just like this, and I asked the guys behind the counter, I'm like, why aren't you flipping it up? And they're like, no, this flour, this recipe doesn't work well for that particular method. So I felt rather justified in having to roll it out that way. So I'm just going to stretch it out a little bit, get it ready here. There we go. Nice little pizza. So I have it so it's about in between 1/8 of an inch and 3/16 of an inch thick. Stretch it out. Don't be worried if it's not super uniform. This obviously isn't an exact circle. I'm going to then use my pizza docker. It's awesome. There are lots of different types of pizza dockers out there you can get. If you don't have one, you can even take a fork and just stab it. But the idea is you need to get some holes in this so that when it cooks, it's not going to bubble up. Because before the very first time I went to do it, I wound up having massive bubbles in the dough, which was a huge hassle. So it's as easy as that, and it's done. At this point, it's ready to top with any toppings. I've got a selection here. I'm going to try a few different pizzas tonight. But you can do that and bake it for about 10 to 11 minutes, depending on how hot your oven actually is. I have mine at 500 degrees, and you're going to wind up with some nice, beautiful, crispy crust. So once you have that pizza crust, the sky is really the limit. You can use any toppings you want. You can check some of our other videos just to see some of the fun things that we have tried. Just remember, be creative, have fun, and always keep her at 11.